What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to a Friday morning view. Press the bomb, KG.
We're getting synergy, bro. The synergy's building. I'm seeing, we're starting to understand each other's runs, each other's movement, midfield. We know where each other needs to go on the stream. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I saw some comments yesterday saying that they like it when I go at you, when I sort of take the mick out of you. And I thought, I don't do it on purpose. This is not for comedic value or anying like that. This is just a relationship we have.
No, you do. I think you do. I think you.
It's just a relationship.
I think you get a kick out of just like, I don't know if you're trying to keep me. There's too many people in my life that say that they're here to keep me like humble, and I'm like,
yeah. No, it's not that.
Why does everyone want to take that role in my life? Like, I'm all right. Like,
yeah, KG's fun.
Get carried away. I'm cool. Like,
yeah, I think it's fun, isn't it? Because that you couldn't get two more different people.
Yes.
Than you and I. Yeah, yes. That's why it works. That's
very
KG tries to bring the best out of me. I try and just mock KG sometimes. Nevertheless, there's plenty to get into this morning. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Yes. We've got several stories to get into. First of all, we've got to get into this football committee under the Ineos structure at Manchester United.
God!
Under the 25% acquisition, and suggesting that it would actually, even though they would have sporting control, KG, Joel Glazer is going to be involved in football decisions. What is even that going to look like?
This is rubbish.
We're going to be breaking that down. We're also going to be breaking down the latest when it comes to Jadon Sancho, because there was a team photo yesterday, the first one in like nearly a decade or something like that. Jadon Sancho, not involved, not part of the photo. It's a lot about his future, doesn't it, KG?
Hold on 1 second.
And a bit of team news ahead of Saturday's trip to Bramall Lane, because Casemiro is out through injury, but Sergio Reguilon and Sofian Amrabat, they did train yesterday, so we'll be chatting about that too.
I got told that I can confirm that the deal with the club is agreed.
So there's plenty to get into as well. Avi straight away in the chat says, "Hey KG, you got cooked on DR. Don't have it." Is this true?
I got cooked, man. I got cooked. It's my team in the end of the day, so I think I'm an easy target, and there's these what do you call it, Poundland Don Robbie banner that's quite funny at the moment, but it's not gonna last for long because I'm turning into a sex symbol. I'm in the gym. I'm very focused.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So get it off while you can, because I think I give myself 6 months, mate, and I'm gonna be looking tip-top shape. No snacks. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, even Don Robbie's getting a bit of a side swipe with that as well, isn't he? Even he'd be like, "What did I do?"
Well, guess who? I think there was a lot of jokes. Abby was on smoke as well, and basically Spurs fans as well. Like they're on it. Spurs fans are on it, but I need to remind Spurs fans that I'm not your enemy. Stop focusing on me. Just keep doing well in the Premier League, and I hope you win it. You know what I mean? If I have to choose between you and Asna, I'm picking you all the time. So yeah. So it's different, because Spurs fans don't even know what to do with this success. They're so discombobulated and rattled by it. They just don't know what to do, which is a shame, because it just shows that what the club is, innit? They're just shit. Excuse me.
Well, yeah. Well, in fairness to them, you do have to offer them congratulations after winning the league. Already in October, it's incredibly impressive. Premier League title.
Yeah.
They've already won. The other trophies that they're in this season, they're not in the Carabao Cup. They've already gone out.
No, they got knocked out of that one. But it's just incredible. It's incredible though. But like, it is funny though. But I'm literally like, if there's a team that I have to back to try and win it, it'll be Spurs. If I have to choose between Arsenal, Man City, and Spurs, it's Spurs every time, regardless of how the fans act. I don't mind.
But it won't be Spurs.
I know they're rubbish.
No, it won't be Spurs. We'll move on. It's fine. Let's get into this football committee stuff because it was quite interesting yesterday, KG. Big financial outlets coming out and giving us some information on what this Ineos structure would look like when they acquire. I say when because it's not happening yet. No, a boardroom meeting was yesterday, but no vote was yesterday. They actually suggested, I did a video about this yesterday, they might not even be done by January. So the whole January transfer window, about that January transfer window, that might not be happening. But we got some more details about it because the Financial Times are reporting that under the proposed deal, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford and Joel Glazer would sit on a committee overseeing Manchester United football matters.
You know what's so crazy? Is this the Sir guy that you've been telling me about that you hate? The British cycling guy?
I don't hate him. I don't...
Well,
let's not throw around those salacious rumors, KG. Jeez.
Vicious rumors.
I don't hate I hate Sir Dave Brailsford.
Well, you kind of, when you talk about him, you speak about him with, you don't sound like the tone isn't good. So I just took him to think that he was one of our ops and you don't like him. So I was like, okay, he's someone on the list that we shouldn't like.
I was critical because he's a cycling man, right? He's had great success in cycling Team Sky, even though now there's a lot going on.
You kind of blame him for cycling Team Sky, though.
He was heavily involved in all of that in British cycling as well.
Okay.
He's been involved over at Nice, and the Nice fans, when we were reading up about him in January, were not happy with his involvement in all of that because their response was the same as ours. He's not a football guy. At the moment, this season, 8 games in, it's going well at Nice, but that's Nice. Can you transfer that to Manchester United? Now, actually, I'll continue on because the Financial Times are saying also that Manchester United's commercial operations, though, despite having this football committee, the commercial operations would remain under the Glazers' control, although Sir Jim Ratcliffe, as a large shareholder and board director, would command some, not all, but some influence. Having sway over footballing decisions, though, controlling the committee was Sir Jim Ratcliffe's, quote, price for investing, according to a person familiar with the matter. Another said that he was aiming to make his mark quickly on the pitch to signal to fans that despite the Glazers remaining as majority Manchester United owners, his arrival would represent a break from the past. Should the deal go ahead, Manchester United have also discussed raising fresh funds to plough into the club. Selling additional stock in the New York-listed United could allow Sir Jim Ratcliffe to increase his stake while injecting funds into the club. Details have yet to be agreed, and fundraising, though, may not happen. Now, a bit more details on this sort of football committee was reported by The Times last night as well, saying that part of the proposed agreement is for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team to take charge of the football side of Manchester United immediately. Any changes to personnel will be overseen by the aforementioned Sir Dave Brailsford. But this is the bit that I was speaking about on social media yesterday, right? It says the makeup of this potential football committee, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford and Joel Glazer, means that the power would ultimately be with Ratcliffe and Brailsford. The Financial Times did say this. They said they would have effective, that's the key word there, effective sporting control. But sources said it is, and this is a quote, ludicrous to think the Glazers would surrender all control. Now, I mentioned this on social media yesterday, KG. I said, look, when that came out and they said there's going to be a footballing committee, it's going to have Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's going to have Sir Dave Brailsford, and it's going to have Joel Glazer. I looked at that and said, that worries me. That I have a lot of questions about that. That's a concern because already it kind of feels like the goalposts continue to shift because initially it was Ineos, they're going to have complete sporting control. And at the time, all it was raising questions of, how is that going to work when you don't own the majority of the business? You own 25% of the business, and you're going to have such a major influence over a massive aspect of the business in football. I equated it to owning 25% of a restaurant, but you determine what's on the menu and what days you sell it. I mean, pretty big stuff, right? Yeah. So that's
I've seen something incredible.
But KG looking like a jockey.
Standard, no, not I like that one though. That's funny though. But standard protocol format says that's like your wife saying, "Don't worry, dear, you have effective control." LOL.
Right. So this is my point. Yeah. So with that, so they're saying, and I raised those questions saying Joel Glazer now is involved in footballing decisions. That's not what was put out there initially. They were going to have complete control over sporting decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now Joel Glazer is involved. And I said, well, that's a concern. And people start pushing back to you. Can you not do maths? Can you not? You can't count. There's 3 of them. There's 2 in the committee from Ineos. 2 versus 1. You're stupid, Owen. You're an idiot. You're a fool. Read the articles, read the books, read the manuals, and all that kind of
You
stuff.
getting through it
And,
online.
and I said,
Yeah, so
yeah, and I said, okay, that's fine, and I get that, but are we going to be this naive to think that you're going to have a Glazer on a committee, even if he's outnumbered, and as the majority shareholder still of Manchester United,
family still run
and
things.
his family still runs things, and not think that he wouldn't have either heavy influence, the final say, or most importantly, the power to veto any decisions on the committee? Because guess what? It's his company after all. It's still his. And when I said that, people were like, "No, you've been stupid." I don't think that's stupid at all. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I like the argument that you've proposed this morning. And I think the first thing we need to get into is people are saying they want to see you versus Brailsford at a Misfits show. So I'm well behind that. I think I could walk you into the ring. I could be in your corner, just there for inspiration. So I want to see that. You versus Sir Dave what's his name? Brailsford?
So Dave Brailsford, and I feel like there's going to have to be a massive discussion over weight category. You know, either he's got to come up or I've got to go way down.
All right, cool. Now let's get into what you call it. Let's get into things. I saw an article today. So this is an opposing article of what you were saying, that how he leaves no stone unturned. This guy, this Sir Dave, yeah, he's gonna go in. He's gonna look at the things they're doing wrong and think, how can I trick the system? What more can I get? What's the maximum I can get from this from Man United? So you think, is he a good person to be on the footballing committee? I'm worried by it because, again, your background is not extensive in this space. So now you look at the committee, the footballing committee, and the thing that is quite funny is you do have Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who's not a footballing guy. He's just got a lot of money that likes football. And you got another guy that likes cycling. And you got a loser in what Glazer is it? Or is it Joe that's going on the committee?
Joe Glazer.
Joe Glazer. Now, as a Trinity, I hate it. Like, as a Trinity, literally.
This is rubbish.
And the worst thing about it, yeah, as this type of Trinity is, you got one guy that just can't even afford, you know, it sounds like long-term plans that are not really they're not thought out. It's like if you're at college or uni and you're doing a presentation and you don't want questions at the end because the professor is gonna rip apart your assignment and say, wait, how are you doing this? Okay, so you're saying you have effective control, but who actually makes the decision? So when you come to an impasse, which you will, because you're not gonna agree on everything, who has final say? And it's like, well, I do. It's like, but then I know it says you do here, but that guy over there, Glazer, his family owns a lot of the club. Wouldn't you say it's his? You know what I mean? Like, unless you have a footballing committee that does not include a Joe Glazer, which wouldn't make sense because, as the paper said, you only own 25%. You only own that. That's not enough of the club to have a massive overhaul in how things go. But then one thing we can say is, because the Glazers, this is where we can look at it from this is where we can look at playing devil's advocate on this thing and looking for the positive edge in the situation. The Glazers don't care about Man United. They're not invested. They don't know what's going on. So I reckon 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to be interested. All they're going to look at is the bottom line. They're going to say, how much are we getting when this thing finishes? What is this? Does this thing help our bottom line? Yes, let's do it. I can't see a lot of pushback from them. The only time they'll do pushback is when they're asked to do heavy investment in terms of, like, you know, when we say, hey, we want Harry Kane, and they're like, I don't know if that makes sense. They're going to say, that's where you're going to get some level of pushback if we're trying to sign older players, because the club have come back each time, Woodward and stuff, they've come to the Glazers and they've said, hey, we need this player, we need this player. And none of those players have left for any value. None of those players have turned up in a Man United shirt. So probably disillusioned as businessmen, right? If you're looking at it from a business thing, they're going to trust this new guy in there. So that's the other side of it.
Yeah, I think, and this is the thing, whenever you talk about just some of these, like, again, questions or reservations, the perception is that you're anti all of this, and I'm really not when it comes to it as well. I've said time and time again, if there's a roadmap to a full sale, and I'm almost a little bit glad. I said this yesterday too. I'm glad, like they mentioned, there's a delay. It wasn't going to get voted on. If that delay means they're making sure that there is a roadmap in all of this agreement that they can get to a full sale, I'm behind that. That's good. I'd rather it be delayed and they not rush into it and make sure that those clauses are in place. When it comes to this footballing committee as well, if they can guarantee that if push comes to shove every single time, Ineos can win that fight over footballing matters, again, I'll take that. Like, cool, because that would imply there'll be, there'll be somewhat change over footballing matters at United. So again, I can get behind that. I just, call me cynical, but I think we've earned the right as fans to be a bit cynical in anything that involves the Glazers. And people will say with that, they'll go, Joel Glazer's got 19%. They'll say Joel Glazer's got 19% of shares, right? Ineos has 25%. So they'll say, well, in those instances, Ineos would just be able to outvote them. But they are still hashing out what all of this structure will look like. So, for instance, when this deal gets ratified by the board and gets voted on by the board, which includes, again, all of the Glazer siblings to vote on, they can say, we're not happy with that. We're not happy with that part of the agreement. Joel, as the Glazer representative on this committee, should have veto power and all that kind of stuff. And that might be me making assumptions, which is fair. And you're assuming, because we don't know that part of it. But I still have questions about that.
You should be, I think, and this was weird, I can't tell you how to be, right? But then there's got to be a level of like, kind of like hoping for the best in this situation, because you ask yourself, well, why is this man chosen to undertake Man United? He doesn't need it. Like, he's rich, he's richer than the bloody Man City owner in terms of like, he's got a lot of money. Like, this is real wealth we're talking about. The only thing he's moving broke when he's doing this in this acquisition, but he's moving this way because he couldn't really compete with Qatar. So now you like, he doesn't need to take on the stress of Man United. Something's telling him, go for this club. So you got to try and look at the positive and think, well, and he's fought for the club. Really, he's fought to get his foot in the door. And then you got like, you hope that he has pure intentions of bringing the club back to where it needs to be. So I'm hoping for the good in this guy. And I'm hoping that he's going to come in and really, like, I don't know, try and change Man United and put us back on the map where we need to be. I'm really hoping for that. I'm really hoping that he is going to, the footballing decisions, because that's where our club falls down a lot. Commercially, we're fine. But footballing decisions and the whole footballing committee with the steering group and bringing in the Mitchells and all stuff, that would be a positive for Man United. That's where we miss it. I think that's the worst part in football when it matters.
The problem is what happens when there's overlap as well. That's going to be the issue, because, okay, so the Glazers are still involved in the commercial side of things, but because of the complexities of modern football, the commercial sides and footballing sides do overlap. Who still sets the budget? Okay, if you've got, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford effectively running the footballing side of things, they're making decisions on signings, they're making decisions on structure, managers, coaches, etc. But if the budgets are still being set by the Glazers, then is there not going to be some disconnect there of going, actually, we feel like we should be spending more money, like stuff like that? Again, that's the problem with this.
The killer, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, it's like we still spend, we just spend horribly. So when you look at Man United, we still every season we're spending 200 and something million. Without fail, we're going to spend 200. Even when they told us we didn't have enough money this season to spend, we still find some way to spend. The only difference is we're not spending in lights with the rest of the teams right now. We don't have that financial power like how now Arsenal can get a Declan Rice in and then some like two other decent players, which we used to be the super spenders in club football. And another issue that we have is, again, when we talk about this year's spend, while it shouldn't have been that big. But then when you look at the net spend in terms of what left, we look like we spent as much as everyone else in accordance to net. So it's that part that Man United need to fix. We're always going to spend. We're always going to put money down in the transfer market. It's the selling. There needs to be a strategy around the selling. There needs to be a strategy around how much we let play, how much we get for our youngsters as well. Youngsters that go on and have decent careers. Why do we not get paid enough for them?
But this is the thing with it is, as I said before, if it's reported and it's put out there, no, Joel Glazer's, he's basically on there in this committee just to essentially stay informed. Yeah, he'll put his 2 cents in, but if push comes to shove, ultimately Jim Ratcliffe has the final say on that. Then again, I can get behind that because it's someone that's not named, last name's Glazer, that's involved in footballing decisions. I can get behind that. But as I mentioned, I'm just skeptical. I'm skeptical. If we get to once this thing is ratified, and let's be honest, it will be, unless something dramatic happens. But you never know, United. But once this,
I'm still hoping.
Once it does get ratified, though, once it does, right? If they said actually there is this roadmap to a full sale, and there is legitimate sporting control from Ineos's point of view, yes, Joel Glazer is involved, but look, it's still their business. They have to have a seat, but they're not in control of that. Then I think most people would be like, look, it's not ideal from like a year ago where people thought where we would maybe this whole process would end up in, but there's hope there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? There's hope there. It's just when you see that there is a natural reaction, I think, a healthy reaction to be skeptical. So I think if you walk into this just good, there's going to be change. Why? Well, they said there was going to be effective change. And then in like 9 months' time, there's reports going, Joel Glazer's still making these decisions, blah, blah, blah. We can't be shocked. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I've always, when I look at how this club has been run, I can tell that the Glazers are not running it. They've just put stupid people in charge. And the first stupid person they put in charge was not Sir Ed Woodward, was Ed Woodward. The guy was terrible. He was rubbish.
Sir Ed.
He was rubbish. He was really bad. And Man United was his plaything. And he wanted to live up to David Gill and stuff and wanted to be lauded like that. And he was terrible. Remember when there was that picture of him when he's getting to like sign these epic players that never turned out to be epic for Man United? What was it when there was this little meme that they used to use for
It's the one with the point, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And you could tell that he's picked these terrible managers that just didn't work. His time at Man United has to be looked at as a really bad time in terms of the decisions. Like, I didn't even realize that Sanchez was here on 500,000 a week. Who offers that? Who does that? I can't believe that. That's insane. That's.
But Joel Glazer was signing off on all of that too. I mean, this is the thing too. You mentioned.
I don't think they're looking at the books like that. I think they don't care. In their head, they're like,
they are.
I think they are. And they're like, bring us the dividends. I don't think they're paying that close attention. They don't know who we got on the weekend. I don't think if you ask Joel Glazer who's Man United playing on the weekend, he doesn't know.
But if he doesn't care about that, then he wouldn't want to be involved in this football committee. I think that's naive of us to think that they don't have any knowledge of what's going on. Because by all accounts, any major decision, yes, it's done on a day-to-day basis by those within Manchester United. So like you mentioned, when Ed Woodward was there, Ed Woodward, now John Murtough, Richard Arnold, they do the day-to-day stuff, but they don't make big calls without it getting signed off by Joel Glazer. Like they say with everything goes to his desk at some point and he says yes or no. By all accounts, that's why Martial was still around. Remember when Jose was there? Jose wanted to get rid of him. Joel Glazer went, no. He reminds me of Pele. So we're keeping him. What he said?
Joel Glazer said what?
Martial reminds me of Pele.
Oh my God!
So that's why I think, again, we can't be naive when it comes to the involvement of them involved in anything.
Wait, how though? How does he remind him of Henny? Is it just because he's black? I don't understand. I need to know what he's seen from. What is it? Is it the hairstyle? Is it the Pele? You know what's, yeah, that's insane. That's incredible. He couldn't have said that. That can't be a real quote. That's not got to be a real quote. It has to. Yeah, I hope it's fake. I hope it's fake because this is. And if this guy is on the footballing committee, yeah.
Daily Mail, 2019. Anthony Martial is going nowhere as Manchester United co-chairman Joel Glazer, quote, considers him to be the club's Pele.
Okay.
You are a liar.
You know what's funny? A guy called Kratos here was in the chat and he said, yo, KG's really simple, you know? So I'm just taking that as bro. He's like, you're so dumb. That's rude, but still, I just thought it was a.
And this is the thing when I say this guy's going to be involved in football and decisions still. People are like, yeah, but Sir Jim, Sir Dave, they'll overrule him. There's a lot to overrule there.
Well, look, man, if you're in a meeting saying Martial, Pele, not a lot between them.
What do you think the reaction would be in the room? You got to get rid of Martial, and he goes, "What, Pele?"
No, if you're in a room, yeah, and then someone says that, you've thrown away all your authority. In that quick second, we now know, okay, we don't listen to you anymore. That's it. Like, as soon as you said that, we said, oh.
Well, immediately they just go put it to a vote. They just go put it to a vote.
They're saying that you're you look like a dubbed edition. Is it like?
I know, I was just seeing that, but I don't know. I mean, they can let me know in the chat.
I think they're saying basically it's like you want to fight me. Cause come to an end.
Is it that bad?
My father's death. Oh, that's funny.
With do you remember that with the WWE with the Indeed thing as well?
Indeed. Oh,
Indeed.
Who had the microphone that came down from the sky?
Mr. Kennedy.
Why did I think it was somebody else?
It was Mr. Kennedy, and he did the and he copied that, and he copied the boxing announcer who does twice at the end. I don't know his name, but he
Kennedy.
And then he would pause. He would go pause, wait for it. Sometimes he'd go, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Kennedy. It was very good. It was very, very good. But we kind of just, diverted from, is it bad? My kung fu-ness. I just checked it there. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah. You know what, man? Listen, bro, I'm just saying this. I know we got a guy that thinks Martial could be Pele on the footballing committee, on the steering committee, but let's just have a little bit of hope and see what happens. Have a little hope, because again, if they start bringing in what this guy knows that he's behind, he's down on the scorecard, and he really needs some good rounds. So Jim Ratcliffe knows that. He knows that the Man United fans are not excited with the way he's tried to acquire Man United, and he's going to be fully aware. And before we talked about the Glazers not caring, well, he will care about his image in Manchester. So he's going to want to make sure that he, if through PR, whatever, he's going to want to make that right. So now I believe that there's going to be some important decisions that he will try to make to endear himself to the United faithful. And I hope that means positive decisions at the top, positive decisions in terms of who's doing transfers, positive decisions in so many areas of this club. So now there's nothing wrong with a little bit of hope. That's all. Like, I'm not getting into it saying he's definitely going to do it. That would be stupid. But having some hope, why not? It'll get you through, bro. You might as well.
Let's go to the super chats. Amanor says, KG, I think Abby likes you, bro. Mrs. KG may get jealous.
Nah, don't do that, man. That's ridiculous. We're just
stirring.
Stirring the pot. It's not that, bro.
Stirring.
Yeah,
KG goes to the gym for a couple of weeks.
My wife,
so he's got people fawning over it.
My wife is so sick. We're talking about 17 years of love, fam. What's wrong with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, how she talks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, we'll move on. It's just Danny says, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will never go for 100% control. His end game is majority, and that's the reality. Status quo short term and minority shares for Glazers long term. And Snake Eyes says, poor leadership begets poor management. Poor leadership gets poor management and result. Oh, okay. It's a random B involved in that. So that's the latest when it comes to the football committee at Manchester United as well. Of course, if we get any more details on that, we'll let you know moving forward. But as of right now, they're still thrashing out the details of this agreement too. Let's talk a little bit about Jadon Sancho, because there was a team photo. There was a squad photo that was conducted. I don't know if it was conducted yesterday, but we found out about it yesterday.
I want to say, what? That was a squad photo?
Yeah. It's quite weird to do one in October, isn't there? But
as in the full squad, like everyone sitting down in like the school.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So it's been reported by Samuel Lutkers from the Manchester Evening News that Jadon Sancho has been excluded from the Manchester United squad photo for the current season. United players assembled for a first in-person squad photo since the beginning of the 2014-2015 campaign, but the exiled Sancho was absent from the shoot at their Carrington training complex. There were some photos and sort of videos going around on social media yesterday, because even the likes of Terrell Malacia were there.
No, I need to see this picture, because that's going to teach me something about my manager. I need to see this picture. Wait, hold on. And I
don't know if the squad photo actually is out there yet. It might have just been a video of them doing it. Let's see if we can find it.
If you can, because that's hilarious. Man United squad photo. Where are we going to look for that? Man United squad photo. 2023. Oh, wait.
So there's a video. There's a video of them taking it. I don't know if the actual photo itself is out yet.
The Evening News. But it says that it was omitted. You know, my manager, is...
Just look, you got like... Can you see that? That's not the actual photo, but it's them sort of... It's a video of them doing it.
Yeah.
And look, there you go. There's Terrell Malacia. Actually there.
And Thingy's not in it. My manager is petty and I'm here for it. You know what? Yeah, that's naughty. That's naughty. That's
is it?
Oh, that's petty behavior. That's a low blow in it. That's a low blow.
I don't know if it necessarily is.
Terrell. Nah. Wait, who's that? Wait, I just saw the keeper. Man like Heaton in the picture before me. You know, because if I'm a petty person, like I've got petty tendencies, I would look at this picture and look at who I should be in this picture instead of. So I'll be like, I'm better than him. I should be there. So he's gonna look at his picture, he's gonna see Maguire, he's gonna see Heaton, he's gonna see Johnny Evans, and he's gonna be like, nah. And then he's gonna look.
They're in this. It's a squad photo, isn't it? It's a squad photo. And if Jadon Sancho is not in the squad,
still, I'm looking at that picture with so much. But that's just because, again, I don't know if that's a star sign thing, but yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that. But I rate the manager for doing this. This is brilliant. This is what you got to do. Sometimes, don't hold back. And if the player's getting your nerves and pissing you off a bit and you want to apologize, organize a squad photo and leave him out. Jesus.
Well, I think certainly it's an indication that he's not going to be around much longer, isn't it? That's it. You know, that's an indication that January, you know, it's over, it's done. And that's not, this is the thing, KG too. When we're in, usually these things are done in the summer, right? Usually they're done like August, just before the start of the season. And there are lots of clubs where they'll have the squad photo. Players will still be actively at the club because they're looking for summer moves and they're not involved. So that's why I looked at it, I went, I don't see it as like a massive like slight or anything like that. I just see it as someone that's leaving, so they're not going to involve them.
All right.
The same way they would do in the summer, but it's just a case of it's happening in October.
Just imagine.
And to be honest, I don't think it was done yesterday as well, because Casemiro's in it. So, and he's in Brazil at the moment.
Okay. All right. So just imagine, we're doing pictures, UV pictures, It's a bit frosty, but then we usually take our UV pictures early in the season just to get things going, which we've actually done, And then we just say, you know what? Nah, we just don't holler at you, bro, because things are a bit nuts. You're still part of the team. You're still contracted at Man United. Or sorry, you're still contracted at UV. Like, nah. Are you not going to feel slighted when you see them pictures of everyone together? Even when the group chat's going off, hey, you look, what you in tomorrow? Like, obviously, the kit in it. It's like...
The problem is, KG, you know me as well, yeah? This isn't a good example of me because any form of sort of social thing that I don't have to go to is brilliant.
I
Excellent
hear
news.
it. I hear it.
Excellent
But
news.
you remember you missed the barbecue as well. They done the family barbecue and everyone brought their families. Yeah. And then he wasn't invited to that. Bro, I'm telling you right now, we're ramping up social, the social moments off the pitch.
I don't think it's that deep in terms of the omitting. I think it definitely says something about his future, i.e. he's leaving in January. But I mean, if Man United, it's almost like another delayed thing. Pretty much every other club does their team photos. That comes out August.
Yeah,
United comes out October.
Arsenal's got the one with the team dog, with the new team.
Yeah,
would win.
Exactly. So, I don't look at that as like a massive.
Look,
the only indication.
I'm just being ridiculous in it. But a person like me, would look at that away. I'll be like, rah, what? You couldn't do that. You couldn't get that off with me. I'll be furious. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a bit upset. Even if I'm in the wrong in this moment, I still be like, rah, like they couldn't even let me come for the squad photo. Like, what the hell?
But if you knew, in the case of Sancho, and it's the case with other players at other clubs, if you knew, okay, in a couple months, I'm leaving, and this could be agreed at any point that I'm leaving, I'm going somewhere else. Why would you come in? What's the point?
Well, Ronaldo still took a picture in the this season. Wait, in a new kit, even though he knew he was going to be out of here.
That wasn't squad photo. That was just promotional pics for the Premier League because you have to have them in case he played, and he did.
Well, at least we know now for sure that we've known for weeks that it's over, innit? But this is like another nail in the coffin of it's really over. And even there's no coming back from this because he'll be able to still say, if you've done wrong, like there's a back and forth between two people, and you got the first original wrong, but someone else now wrongs you after that, they're gonna still feel a way to that thing. So let's say he goes in and apologizes, and a little part of his heart's gonna be like, but mate, you kept me out of the team photo. Like, I should really be in that. I should be in that. There's a squad photo that doesn't exist with me in it anymore. And what am I gonna just be in there AI generated? What the hell, man?
But then you say, are you part of the squad at the moment? And they'll be like, well, no. How long are you going to be part of the squad moving forward?
Contractually, I am.
So you would be the tough person to go, contractually, I'm obligated to be in this squad photo.
I'm a petty person. Do not follow, I'm telling you, yeah. And this is the reason why a lot of times on Twitter and stuff or anywhere, I'm likely to respond to things I don't like.
You're saying so he should have done like the Ashley Cole at Roma sort of thing. They have everyone sitting down and he's like leaning in.
Yeah. Don't use me as a anything because I do have petty tendencies. I'm learning that a lot about myself recently.
To be honest, look, you want to talk about petty stuff. There have been instances where squad photos, not at United, I don't think, but in other clubs, I'm sure of it, have been taken in the summer, and then that player leaves by the end of the window, and they have to be edited out, like photoshopped out or photoshopped added in. Like, that's a real thing.
Like, do you know how petty I am? I won't play Sancho on EAFC. I just won't play him. He's in the reserves. That's ridiculous. I could use a winger, but he's not coming on for me. Sorry.
Show Ramen says 72 and still petty. Referring to your age.
72 and still petty. Yeah, petty. Listen, I think my dad's petty and he's old, man. So it is what it is. I don't care.
It's just down. He says Erik ten Hag organized it to send a message. My manager. Yeah, people would look at it like it was. I don't think he said, "We're good, what can we do to get at Jadon? Let's do a photo day." We don't need to do a photo. Let's do a photo day.
Don't put that past FIFA, you know.
No, it's come on, man.
Don't put that past anyone, you know.
I did. Yeah.
Be sure to smash a like on the like button. We've got over 1,000 people watching. Only 155 likes. Oh.
I need to tell people that.
So if you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, only 155 likes. I know it's been a wild morning thus far. Me and KG have been all over the shop. So, and actually, if you haven't already, just click the like button for, as someone said, KG wearing his jockey outfit.
You know what's so funny? My wife bought this for me. She's like, "Oh, babes," and then she's, "Do you not like it?" And I was like, "No, I like it." But now you know, calling me a jockey, I will be getting back to her with my thoughts.
That wasn't me that said it as well. That was comments.
I'm gonna say,
I want to get in trouble.
They say, wait, hold on.
Oh no! This is when I get in trouble. This is when I get in trouble. They say this is when I get the blame. That this is when they get told, you know, I'm bullying.
Babes, I need you. This is important. Apparently, Owen and the rest of the community, they're saying I look like a jockey.
A jockey?
Yeah.
What, like for people that ride horses?
Yeah.
What, because of the jacket?
Yeah.
Why? Rude.
So honestly, look at me right now. Do I look like Frankie
You know how
Dettori?
small jockeys are?
Wow. Wait, no.
Oh, it's backfired. It's backfired massively.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
So is this a keep? Are we keeping this? Are we gonna keep this?
I think they're being rude by saying it like a jockey because I think they're trying to take the myth out of their size, isn't it? Jockeys are small.
I get out. Get out. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife.
That didn't go the way you thought it was going to go, KG, at all.
I should have known.
Okay, they broke me, man. I'm broken, fam.
You know what's funny, yeah? That's why when people see comments in the comment section saying, "You don't even know my wife, fam. Maybe Dickens." You know my wife's son, bro. She's wicked. She's rude, fam. Nah. I'm coming. Nah. I'm going to cuss her, man.
As soon as this ends.
Absolutely. I've got 10 minutes before my stream. I'm rocking her. Oh, man. That's too funny. She didn't even say anything about you, bro.
Straight away.
Red card. Yeah. Red card, fam. All right, cool.
Next topic. Next topic. Casemiro, he's out of the game against Sheffield United tomorrow through injury. Man United confirmed this yesterday, saying Casemiro was absent from Manchester United training. He's remained in Brazil on the club's advice to recover as swiftly as possible from a small issue picked up while playing for his country. He'll be unavailable for Saturday's game against Sheffield United, but is expected to be back at Carrington early next week to resume training. Of course, he's going to miss the Champions League game, though, because he's suspended. What are your thoughts on him missing the game? Is this not actually a bad thing for him?
You know what? Yeah, I think this is not a bad thing. And I never like to talk like this about players injured and stuff because you want all players to be available and then the manager is forced to make the right decision, you know? Really wanted to see Casemiro on the team, but there was one thing we could see with Casemiro that something was off, and there was when we talk about 4 players back, like looking after 4 players in poor form, he was one of the 4, you know, giving the ball away lackadaisically, making mistakes, and just not even the things that you like about Casemiro was getting wrong in terms of, you know, even the tackles where people are getting past him, but usually times that tackle to win the ball back really well. Timing's been off, you know, this season with some of those diving in, jumping tackles and stuff like that. So it's okay that he's not in the team at the moment. Now, this can give Amrabat some time to settle in his true position where he's actually meant to be, you know. But then it's just, I'm a tier. Oh my goodness. I'm tier what tier did
Tier 10.
I'm tier 10.
Good.
My friend that knows a guy. There you go. That's Moroccan. Let me know everything's fine. Hey, oh my goodness, I'm incredible. Anyway, yeah, listen, the Casemiro thing, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think this is gives a really good like springboard to see what happens, a new type of constructed midfield with Casemiro fighting to get back into the team again, which I would love. I would love to see a focused Casemiro, knowing that he can't rest on his laurels. Yes, you've won bags of Champions Leagues, bags of titles, but you really got to fight to get into this Man United midfield. I think that'll be a positive. It'll only be good for Man United.
Here's a good one from Prince, who says, are you guys serious about Man United, or are you just making fun? So, you know, just sometimes you get that. You're not allowed to laugh, KG, now. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold on. Honestly, yeah.
You're not allowed to laugh.
No, but we don't care. I don't know how it can be like, is there a way to show him we don't care? We turn up in the morning and there's a lovely community here that actually want to like, they enjoy this. You know what I mean? So those are the people that we care about. If you got a problem with our personalities and that, well, we're not leaving. So
I mean,
do you
fair laughs.
I know I don't like this, but
I mean, yeah, KG's been through the ringer this morning, in fairness. I think he could do what he wants. No, I agree with you in terms of the Casemiro thing. It might be a bit of a blessing in disguise for him. And that's not to say that he's rubbish. It's not to say that he's awful. Yeah. I think people confuse sometimes the criticism of certain players for their form as you saying, like, they're awful and they're never going to be good again. People can go in and out of form. Casemiro, are there some reservations about maybe his longer-term future, the length of his contract and all that at Man United? Yeah, they're fair. They're fair questions to put out there. Is he playing well at the moment? You know, what was that?
Don't worry about that. How long I wouldn't worry about. I know it sounds crazy, yeah. How long did Ryan Giggs go on for?
You can't compare people to Ryan Giggs, KG. He's an anomaly.
I know he done the yoga and
he's an anomaly.
In Casemiro, yeah, in that midfield, yes, there's things that we could do to support him, but he's a good reader of the game. You need these pros in your team. You do need that experience, and he's been there before. That we need the attitude and character. We do need that. Like
that's what I mean. I'm not saying that we don't need that, and I'm not saying that he's got nothing to offer anymore. He has just, I mean, statistically and with the eyes, hasn't been what he was last season, right? That's fair to say. And it's a weird one because people point to, but he scored these goals, which he has, in fairness. But in terms of being effective at what his role is, he's not been as effective this season. Now, there are other parts of it as well in terms of support, injuries, people around him. Obviously, defensively, we've been shaky too. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into it.
I'm saying, because even what's unfair, obviously, because we've been so terrible this season, yeah, and a lot of things are kind of standing out in terms of it's easy to almost pinpoint the blame at Casemiro's in Casemiro's department, but then there's been like a disconnect in that midfield. And he looks like the one that's like, oh my God, what's happened to him? No, the team is not playing they're not playing with synergy. They're not playing together. If you're foolish enough to say, Højlund's a terrible striker because he hasn't scored enough goals this season. No, the team don't play towards his strengths. The team are not doing the correct things to see the best of Højlund. And I feel Casemiro's another player that the team are not playing in a way. The split, the space between Højlund and a Mount and a Bruno is absolutely ridiculous. And
he's not been playing well either, though. I mean, it's fair to say he's not been playing well.
And I agree with that, because then that doesn't give him an excuse to lose the ball for no reason. But there is moments where he's just occupied, like he's by himself in his position. And we all were saying that early this season, but I think it's like we've forgotten about him being alone and him playing in that midfield solo by himself. And then after now, we're taking all this data now and saying, see, we're bad in this midfield because you've been terrible and you're rubbish or this, that, and the other. So no, when you really contextualize and look at it, there's been a lack of connection with the three. We tried to we've tried something different in that midfield, and it's not worked so far as it stands. But now it's like, now we got to give that thing time, personally.
I think just with him, like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing if he dropped out of the team. Obviously, now he's going to for injury for a couple of games and suspension. I don't think that's a bad thing. When he came in last season, and at the time it was Scott McTominay keeping him out the side. People forget that, and he sat on the bench for like what was it, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe a bit longer than that. He's playing Europa League games, and again, it wasn't the worst thing for him. And sometimes, take a player out the firing line, whether it's enforced or not forced. Like, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. And as you mentioned, we'll see Amrabat in a more natural role, I suppose, for him as well. So it'll be interesting. And then look, by the time Casemiro comes back, we might be desperate and great to have him back. Remember, like last season when he got suspended for like the Arsenal game, we were like, we've lost because Casemiro is not playing. So we'll see. Speaking of the people that are returning, Amrabat and Sergio Reguilon. Trained yesterday, so it looks like they're going to be available. KGO, we're going to go into a match day of actually a natural left back. Can you believe it?
So, like, I've never been so happy. This is a good moment for Man United. Honestly, like, I'm feeling the positivity of this one. Reguilon, he came to the Man United, and a lot of people looking at that deal like, look, a Spurs back, like Spurs leftovers. How could United? But then one thing you're getting from this Reguilon kid, is he really he loves the club. He's really excited to be here. Like you could tell, there's some things, there's little pictures you see with these signings, when they're just in the shirt for no reason. Like they just want to be Man United. And I like that. I think that's endearing at times where you get when the player has a love for the club, they actually understand the magnitude of the club and they're excited to represent the badge. And that comes through with a player like that. So yes, let him play. Yes, let him give, even when he's like overlapping and then he whips the ball into the box, turns to the United faithful, and he's like, come on. You're always gonna get someone like me on your side with those types of behaviors. That's good. So again, and it's positive for the fact of now, whenever Shaw is challenged, we get a different Shaw. As soon as the signing comes in, that Shaw thinks, hey, what's going on here? Yeah, Shaw takes up another level. So this could only be good for Man United.
Well, I appreciate Reguilon's endeavor and his work rate. I think you can't get away from the fact that, and he will know this too, like, shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? This opportunity is nuts. I can't believe it's ridiculous. The situation that I'm in so far this season, he's done well. I mean, it's just the fact that we've just got a left back available. I mean, that is such a cursed position this season. I mean, can you imagine? He was an emergency left back signing and he got injured.
The man got injured. Insane.
That is like, what's it like? There's a fire. And they have, where they have an axe and a bucket of sand, and they say break glass in terms of emergency. You break the glass, but when you do it, you break the axe. You're just throwing sand around everywhere. You know what I mean? That's what it's like.
Yeah. Some people get killing me in the comments in the free seats. They're saying, I love the club too. Play me. Different, man. It's different. You're rubbish. Like, it's just so simple. You're rubbish. You know what I mean? End of the day, like the last time we tried to play a fan of the club, it just didn't work in Whitehorse. He was terrible. He was terrible.
Did he miss a penalty for the Netherlands in the international break as well?
And then I couldn't believe as soon as he left, he scored. What the hell, bro? These players, sometimes get so upset with them because it's like they leave the club, and all of a sudden they want to remember who they are. Like, wait. Can you have that same performance that we've had for time?
Think about it. Like sometimes it's worth just sort of taking a step back and realizing what you've been through. Think about last season for 6 months, like from January to the end of the season. We didn't have a striker, so we got Wout Weghorst in, and he scored twice. He didn't score in the Premier League. He scored 1 in the Europa League, 1 in the Carabao Cup, and we had to make do with that. And Erik ten Hag did.
Do you know
how crazy that is?
It's insane. And he should have never came back from.
Even third.
When he went to, it's mental, and I loved it when he had the little headband, the Man United scarf, and he just wore it as a headband. When we won the Carabao Cup, and he was taken in the moment, as a fan would. He's like, he was just staring at the Man United faithful, and he's thinking to himself, I shouldn't be here. Like, how have I done this? And a lot of times, yeah, I might be on a film set with some wicked actors, and I'm like, how have I done this? Something, you're in the green room, yeah, and you're like, shouldn't be here. I shouldn't not be here. This is insane. So I can get it. Sometimes it's like imposter syndrome is what they call it. But then, like, yeah, Man United, we need to get our act together, because one thing I didn't think he should have recovered from, when he touched the sign at Anfield, that this is Anfield one.
Yeah.
And he said he done it because he's seen a lot of...
Was it something like Van Dijk's was here and he was trying to swipe it down or something like that?
You wanted to touch the side. Anyway, let me not be mean, but I'm surprised I forgave him for that, because my pettiness knows no bounds.
Yes, indeed it doesn't. And I tell you what, whereas pettiness doesn't know any bounds is on his own channel at KG the Comedian, which all of the Reckless delegates will be there at, was it 10:10? Is that what it is? 10 past 10. You won't have to go anywhere as per usual. You'll be redirected, KG.
Redirect. When the crowd say roll, selector.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm not.
Do you know what can I say this actually? Because I've been wanting to say this to you for a while. What I like on your channel is whenever you play your intro video, right? And it's a good intro video on KG's channel.
Thank you.
When it's there, you can see, and you can watch this when it starts later on, you can see just the top of KG's head, and you can see just the bottom of KG. And behind the video, you see him dancing.
I dance in my own intro.
Every day. Like, it starts off, then you just see the top of his head, you just see.
You noticed that.
And it's great every time. So you can check that out. In a few minutes.
At least, you have to say that behind the scene. This is me, bro. This is my. I am this way, or this is who I am. At least it's not pretend. Who I am.
Andil says KG petty like Ten Hag not playing Palestri on the right instead of Bruno.
That's petty. No, but Ten Hag for Kundo though. I love him. But did he make that position his own? Was he the answer to the right-hand side?
We still don't have an answer. It's still a question, isn't it?
It's the question that can't be answered, bro.
No.
But hopefully, Anthony. Owen, you're really observing, because I've been dancing all the time.
I've noticed it for ages. I've known for ages.
That's why he's the accountant, bro. The receipts.
It's just, it's just the production background, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just I just noticed KG's head bobbing like. But I like it because that's a little Easter egg for people that notice, moving forward, whenever you start the show, you can do something at the top and they'll be like, oh, and you never talk about it.
No,
I'm going to
talk about it. This time up. No, I don't care. Wait, serious question. Should United pundit pick sides?
What's that?
Serious question. Should United pundits pick sides?
From Yams?
No,
the manager should.
Okay, let's end the show there.
Yep. Okay. If you haven't already, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You'll be redirected to KG's channel. Nothing else to say. See you later, KG.
See you later.